Talk where we are today. We've had a couple of groups working. Let me start traditional media measurement. Yes, a lot of this is how's the best way to count pebbles on the beach. We want everybody to do it the same way. This is not going to be, by the way, standards. We're not going to get to extremely high level things that really engage my mind. In fact, we don't want to, because that's the area where firms and agencies should compete and should bring new innovations. We're talking about, how to make things, how to count things. They've come up with 5 areas that will finish by the end of the year. They're doing reliability testing right now. This will be of interest to the media measurement people of the world. We have a very active group in social media measurement, led by Katie Payne, Tim Markline of WCG Group, Richard Bagnall of Gorkana. They have also had the wisdom to bring in a number of other groups, including Word of Mouth Marketing Association, the Digital Analytics Association, and a number of others, in order to develop social media measurement standards. Boy, that's really the Wild West. But this group is about to finish content sourcing and methods. That means how do you disclose what you're doing? How do you calculate reach and impressions? Some people calculate it one way, some do another. Then they're moving on to engagement, influence, and relevance, and then in Q2 they have promised me opinion advocacy, impact, and value. This will have broad support not only from people in the PR side of social media, but we're also getting people in the digital world. The communications lifestyle, David Michelson and Don Stacks have developed this, done empirical research to validate it. Awareness, knowledge, interest, relevance, relationship, action, intent, preference, and advocacy. These are the things that occur up here. So the standards aren't just about measuring outputs, but they're measuring about attitude change. This is complete, this is validated, and their work for the first quarter of 2012, David and Don, is on program measurement.
Measurement of program effectiveness.
Is sort of how to measure program effectiveness. Very important work. ROI and related metrics. Council of PR firms brought together a team about a year ago to address the word that I love, one of the words I love to hate, which is ROI. Everybody uses it. We are often using it in inappropriate ways. This has been discussed at a number of academic conferences, the IPR run by Don Stacks. They're going to come out with a firm declaration of, look, use ROI in cases where you can actually measure the dollars that come out as opposed to the dollars in. And if we're going to measure other stuff, don't confuse ROI with results. Results are results. They have value. In fact, they make a case that PR, I'm speaking to the converted, it's our business, that PR actually has much more value than financial ROI because we have all sorts of intangibles, including brand and reputation and so forth. That is ready. It will be published on the microsite, probably next week. Ethics in research and evaluation. I won't say any more, but Don Stacks and Shannon Bowen have worked on a framework for, this is more near guidelines and principles, but it's measurable, if I understand it, Don, of how we can apply ethics in our research decisions. Those are the areas we're working on, the progress to date. Some days I'm impressed how far we've gotten, and other days I'm thinking, is this all we've done? However, I think it's the first year ever where this many standards have come together and people seem to be working together on them. Communications and education will be key. We have a standards microsite. This is going to be a focal point where everybody can read and comment upon our standards. It's going to be, of course, open access because this is not going to be proprietary. We want people to use it. Frank, Katie Payne, Don Stacks, David Michelson, and I'm sure others have been very good about going around and speaking about standards to tell people what it is, what we're doing, why we need it, very similar to what I've talked about today. it wouldn't be a good conclusion to a talk to a PR audience without finishing with a call to action. How can you help? The biggest way I feel you can help is to let your staffs know in your corporation, in your agency, that this initiative exists, that they should follow it, and that they should adopt these because these are going to be industry, these are just the basics. It's not rocket science to do this. When I was at Fleischmann, if I totaled up the number of hours I spent educating and re-educating clients about certain fundamental metrics, that's a lot of billable time. And when I realized that my friends at, Keshem and Edelman and elsewhere were doing the same thing, sometimes on the same pitch, that's a lot of wasted time for me and a lot of wasted time for the clients. So we're going to try and, get everything ready so there can be a lot of things agreed upon. So again, if you would let this is not something that you as individuals probably need to spend a lot of time on yourselves. It's research and measurement. However, if your staffs would be encouraged to look at it, theoretically, we actually have a metric of success for this program, which would be how many RFPs that are issued by corporations or how many proposal RFPs that are sent out by agencies to research firms. Simply ask the question, are you committed to adhering to broadly accepted standards for PR measurement? Numerator is those who say yes, denominator is total. There's our metric. So that's how I think you can help. Let me end there.